There is a specific kind of heaviness that has settled in your chest recently. It is not a medical condition. It is not depression. It is not simple fatigue. If you have found yourself pausing in the middle of a crowded room, struck by a sudden and overwhelming realization that you do not truly belong to this time or this place, then this message has found you by design. We are speaking today to the solitary travelers. If you were born between the years of 1955 and 1995, you are likely part of a very specific group of souls identified in the readings of the sleeping prophet, Edgar Cayce. You are the ones who feel the vibration of the world too intensely. When you walk into a grocery store, do you suddenly feel a wave of anxiety or grief that has no origin in your own life? That is not your mind playing tricks on you. That is your spiritual porousness. Edgar Cayce described the physical body not as a vessel, but as a radio receiver. Most people are tuned to the local station. They hear the traffic, the news, the bills, the noise. But you are picking up static from a station that does not exist on this plane. You are tired. But let us reframe that exhaustion right now. You are not tired because you are getting old. You are tired because the veil between this world and the next is thinning around you, and your soul is doing heavy lifting while you sleep. You are working double shifts. One shift is in this physical reality, paying bills and maintaining conversations. The other shift happens in the ether, where you are already preparing the energetic bridge for what comes next. Cayce called this the thinning of the silver cord. It is not a sign of death. It is a sign of spiritual maturity. Pay close attention to the hours between 3 and 4 in the morning. If you are consistently waking up at 3:33 or 4:15 without an alarm clock, stop reaching for your phone. Stop trying to force yourself back to sleep. In the archives of the Association for Research and Enlightenment, this phenomenon is documented as the spirit hour. The biological rhythms of the body are at their lowest ebb, which means the resistance of the ego is down. This is when they come close. You are being conditioned. This video is not just information, it is a key. We are going to unlock the specific sequence of events that Edgar Cayce viewed in the trance state regarding the final transition. But before we tell you who is coming to get you, we must establish who you are. You are the ones who have always felt a strange nostalgia for a place you cannot remember visiting. You look at the stars and feel a pull in your solar plexus, a physical ache to return home. Cayce revealed that this sensation is actually a cellular memory. It is the residue of your time in the intermission, the space between lives. Modern medicine calls it tinnitus when your ears ring with a high-pitched frequency. Cayce called it the music of the spheres. If you hear that high-pitched tone, specifically in your left ear, you are hearing the approach of the guide. It is the sound of the higher dimension rubbing against the density of the physical world. We need to address the fear. Society has trained you to fear the end. They paint it as a dark room, a silence, an emptiness. But the readings from the Akashic records paint a picture so vibrant, so crowded with love, that it makes this life look like the shadow. You are afraid of the transition because you have forgotten the contract. If you are the type of person who feels deeply alone, even when surrounded by family, understand this. Your true family is not here. The people you call family on earth are your karmic partners. They are here to teach you lessons, to sand down your rough edges. But your spiritual family, the entity group that shares your exact frequency, is waiting on the other side of that veil. That feeling of loneliness is actually a homing beacon. Throughout this presentation, we are going to dismantle the mystery of death using the precise details given by the father of holistic medicine. We are going to explain why you see flickering lights. We will explain why you sometimes smell flowers when there is no garden nearby. These are not hallucinations. These are visiting hours. The solitary traveler is never actually solitary. You are simply the advance guard. You are the scout. If you have felt this specific resonance, if you feel that the world has become too loud and too harsh for your spirit, it is because your frequency is rising faster than your environment can support. You are outgrowing the container. We are about to walk through the seconds before the heart stops. We are going to describe the entities that enter the room. We are going to describe the sound of your name being spoken by a voice you haven't heard in 10,000 years, but will recognize instantly. This is for the old souls. This is for the ones who are ready to understand the architecture of their own exit. If you are still watching, it means your soul recognizes the truth of this vibration. You are not here by accident. The algorithm is just a modern name for synchronicity. Take a deep breath. Center yourself. The information we are about to reveal has been kept in the dusty files of Virginia Beach for decades. It changes everything about how you view your final moment. You are not walking toward an end. You are walking toward a reunion. Let us begin the journey across the bridge. The silver cord is not a metaphor. It is not a poetic device invented by writers to make the end seem romantic. Edgar Cayce saw it in thousands of readings. He described it with the precision of a surgeon describing an artery. It is an elastic thread of infinite light. It connects your physical vessel to your astral body. For your entire life on Earth, this cord has been the highway for your vitality. It is the conduit that brings universal energy down into the heavy density of matter. When you sleep at night, and you have those dreams where you are flying, where you are visiting places that feel more real than your living room, that is your astral body stretching the cord. You have been practicing for this moment every single night of your life. If you have ever woken up with a sudden jolt, that sensation of falling just as you drift off, that is the silver cord snapping you back into the physical body too quickly. It is a safety mechanism. But in the moment we call death, the mechanism changes. The sleeping prophet described this not as an ending, but as the great unburdening. Imagine you have been wearing a suit made of lead for 80 years. Every movement required effort. Every step fought against gravity. Your joints ached. Your breath was short. Your vision was clouded by the biological limitations of the eyes. Now imagine the buckles on that lead suit simply clicking open. That is the mechanics of the separation. Cayce explained that the silver cord is attached to the physical body at the solar plexus, or sometimes the pineal gland. It pulses. It vibrates with a frequency that is unique to your soul signature. As the moment of transition arrives, the vibration of this cord begins to change. It begins to loosen. The medical machines might show a flat line. The doctors might look at their watches and call a time. But you are busy experiencing the most liberating sensation of your existence. The cord does not snap violently. It dissolves. It thins out like a stream of water turning into mist. And the moment it separates, the lead suit falls away. The pain in your lower back is gone instantly. The confusion in your mind clears into absolute crystal sharpness. You are not leaving yourself behind. You are finally becoming yourself. This is critical to understand. Most people believe that when they die, they become a ghost or a wisp of smoke. Cayce was very specific about this. You retain a form. You look at your hands and they are solid. but they are made of a finer substance. You are in what the readings called the fourth dimension. You might look down at the bed. You see the body lying there. But you do not feel the grief that the people in the room are feeling. You feel a profound sense of compassion for that body. You look at it the way you would look at a car that you drove for 200,000 miles. It served you well. It took you to school. It took you to your wedding. It held your children. But it was never you. It was just the vehicle. And now you have stepped out of the vehicle. The silence in the room is not empty. It is filled with a humming sound. Cayce often spoke of a sound like a swarm of bees or a rushing wind. This is the sound of your vibration raising to match the higher realms. You are tuning out of the AM radio station of Earth, and you are tuning into the cosmic frequency. The silver cord has done its job. It has retracted into your spirit body. You are now untethered. You are free. There is a panic that the ego tries to induce in these final seconds. The ego is terrified of this separation because the ego belongs to the body. But you are the observer. If you are listening to this right now, it is because your soul is trying to override that ego fear. Your soul knows this process. It has done it 1,000 times before. Deep in your cellular memory, you know exactly how to detach. It is as natural as a leaf falling from a tree in autumn. The leaf does not scream. The leaf does not fight the wind. It trusts the cycle. You are currently in the winter of your cycle, or perhaps the late autumn, and you are feeling the winds change. That is why this video found you. The algorithm is pushing this to you because your vibration is asking for the manual. You are asking for the map of the territory. Cayce taught that the moment the cord is severed, you are immediately aware of the others. The room might look empty to the family members crying by the bedside, but to you the room is getting crowded. The dimensions are overlapping. The veil is thinner than a piece of tissue paper, and it is tearing. You begin to see the light not as a tunnel, but as a new atmosphere. It is a light that does not cast a shadow. It is a light that conveys knowledge. When you stand in this light, you do not just see things, you understand them. You understand why you had that difficult relationship with your father. You understand why you lost that job in 1992. You understand why you never had children or why you had 5. The logic of your life snaps into place. This is the clarity of the silver cord retracting. You are downloading the data of your incarnation. It is not a judgment day where a man on a throne points a finger at you. It is a self-review. But before the review comes the reunion, because you are not standing in that room alone. The separation from the body is finished. The heavy coat is on the floor. And now you turn around. You turn away from the dense physical world, and you face the horizon of the spirit. Who is standing there? Who is the first face you see when the silver cord is gone? Is it the grandmother who raised you? Is it the child you lost too soon? Or is it someone you have not seen in 3,000 years, but whose eyes you know better than your own? Edgar Cayce gave us the specific hierarchy of who comes to greet us. It is not random. It is orchestrated by the laws of affinity and love. We are about to describe the greeting committee. We are going to tell you exactly who steps forward first, and why they have been waiting for this specific moment since the day you were born. But first, I need you to confirm that you are ready to let go of the fear. I want you to cement this knowledge into your timeline. I want you to claim your status as an initiate of this wisdom. Go to the comments right now. Do not skip this step. It is a signal to your own subconscious. Write this phrase: I am not the body, I am the occupant. Write it down. I am not the body, I am the occupant. Let the words settle in your mind. Now take a breath, because the entities we are about to describe are already gathering. They are preparing the celebration. Let us look at their faces. Now that you have set your intention, let us step into the room. The silence that follows is not empty. It is pregnant. It is heavy with a presence that you have felt your entire life, but could never quite see with your biological eyes. Edgar Cayce described this moment not as a departure but as an adjustment of the lens. Imagine you are in a room and suddenly the lights go out, but instead of darkness, everything becomes illuminated from within. The walls of the hospital room or the bedroom do not crumble. They simply become transparent. They lose their density. The first thing you notice is the sound. It is a humming vibration that feels identical to the sound of your own blood rushing in your ears when you were a child hiding under the covers. That is the sound of the universe. That is the sound of the source. And as this vibration stabilizes, you realize that the solitude you felt on Earth was an illusion created by the density of your physical vessel. You are surrounded. You have always been surrounded. But now the filter is removed. Edgar Cayce spoke of this moment as the gathering of the cohort. He called them the entity group. These are not random spirits. These are not generic angels playing harps on a cloud. If you are listening to this and you have felt a deep, unexplainable ache for a home you cannot remember, then listen closely. Because the faces you are about to see are the faces of your team. They are the souls who signed a contract with you before you were born into this timeline. The first figure to step forward is often the one who left you first in the physical world. Perhaps it was a grandmother who smelled of lavender and dust. Perhaps it was a friend who left too early in an accident that shattered your world in 1995 or 2004. But look at them now. They do not look as they did in the coffin. They do not look sick or broken or aged. They appear to you at the peak of their spiritual vitality. They are radiant. They are projecting an image that you will recognize instantly to comfort you. But there is a change. Look at their eyes. There is no sadness in their eyes. There is no pity for you dying. There is only a wild, triumphant joy. They are smiling the way a parent smiles at a child who has just walked across a stage to receive a diploma. They are not mourning you. They are celebrating your graduation. They are communicating with you, but their mouths do not move. The language of this realm is not English or Spanish or French. It is the language of immediate knowing. Thought transfer. You hear their voice inside the center of your chest. They are saying, "Welcome back." They are saying, "You did it." They are saying, "The heavy coat is off now." And behind this first familiar face, there are others. Edgar Cayce often described seeing rows of entities. Some of them you will not recognize from this current lifetime. You might see a face that stirs a memory from 500 years ago. A comrade from a life in Egypt or a sister from a life in the plains of America. Your soul knows them even if your brain has forgotten. This is the reunion of the tribe. But then the crowd parts. And this is the secret that very few texts talk about, but Cayce was very specific about. There is a final figure who steps forward. The mirror of arrival. This entity shines brighter than the others. This entity feels more familiar than your own mother. More familiar than your own hands. As this figure approaches you, feel a magnetic pull that is stronger than gravity. You look into the face of this being, and for a split second, you are confused. Because you are looking at yourself. But it is not the you that looked in the bathroom mirror this morning. It is not the you with wrinkles and scars and regret. It is the high self. It is the total sum of all your experiences across 10,000 years. It is the you that stayed behind to anchor the line, while a piece of you went down into the biology to learn. This is the most emotional moment of the transition. It is the reintegration. The small weary traveler meets the great master, and you realize they are one and the same. The love that flows between you and this being is impossible to describe with human words. It is a love of total acceptance. Every mistake you made in 1982, every secret you kept in 2010, it is all known here, and it is all forgiven because it is understood as a lesson. The silver cord that Cayce described, that elastic thread of energy connecting your astral body to your physical heart, finally snaps. It does not hurt. It feels like the snapping of a chain that was holding you underwater. You shoot upward, not directionally up into the sky, but dimensionally up into clarity. The room is gone. The machine is gone. The pain is gone. You are standing in a cathedral of light constructed from the memories of your own love, and the committee is gathering around you because they have a question to ask you. It is the first question of the afterlife. It is the question that determines where you go next. They do not ask if you were rich. They do not ask if you were famous. They do not ask if you were powerful. The high self looks at you with eyes of burning gold and asks one single thing. Did you learn how to love? Think about that. If you were asked that question right now today, what would be your answer? Don't answer too quickly. Because in the next video, we are going to walk through the life review. We are going to see exactly what happens when they play the tape of your life back to you. But they don't play it on a screen. They make you feel it. They make you feel every emotion you ever caused another person to feel. If you are brave enough to see what that looks like, I need you to signal the algorithm. I need you to open the path for the next revelation. Hit the save button on this video so you have it as a reference point, and then click follow. Because the life review is the most intense experience a soul can endure, and you need to be prepared for the questions. We continue in 24 hours.